Hi, guys. Happy Monday. So, those times where you just worked really hard, you've been dealing with the kids, everything is going awry, bills are due. Um, I don't know. There's winter weather, there's driving issues, there's flight issues, there's just so many things, right? There's been a death in the family. All of these things can be stressors. We have daily stressors and we have stressors that are big, some stressors that are not so big. But all in all, they're stressors, right? Um, let's take the example of you work a 90-hour week. Might be a little much, but some it's what happens. And by the end of the week, you're just done. You're snapping. You're irritable. You're sad. You're mad. You're depressed. You're angry. You're everything. All those emotions just wrapped up, right? Well, there's a way to help reduce that end of the week burnout or that, end of the month burnout or, mid month burnout or whatever kind of a burnout we're feeling. And part of that is self care. Self care is very important to the aspect of we have to be able to take care of ourselves before we can do anything functionally for anybody else. If we are not able to care for ourselves, we will burn out and life is not fun. That's when we see things happen that we're seeing in the news today. That's when we see, the mass shootings. That's when we see people, attempting suicide. That's when we see, all kinds of things happening. Okay. A big story right now is that mother that killed her three children and then attempted to commit suicide. Guys, she had a lot of stressors. Giving birth to them, postpartum depression being a very big one. Okay. So we have to learn how to self care. We have to learn how to take care of ourselves so that we can meet our own needs and then help others meet their needs, such as our children, our jobs, our clients, whoever that, we can help. Okay. There's different types of self care. Okay. There's emotional, there's environmental, there's financial, there's intellectual, occupational, there's, physical, social, spiritual. There's all kinds of self care. So we're just kind of going to go over those today and talk about what we can do to kind of help ourselves in the aspect of giving ourselves those times to do self care, to take care of ourselves, to make ourselves feel very alive, very available, helpful. Okay. Let's talk about the emotional kind of social care. So self care, sorry. With self care, when we think about emotion, it's going to be the times that we talk to others, when we reach out to our therapist, when we reach out to our friends, when we start to reflect and journal, read something about self help, listen to some music, um, go for a walk, watch a movie. Take time just to sit and watch a movie. There's even crying it out. Sometimes that's self care. Hug someone, laugh. Laughter can make, just a relief to our soul too. So those all are very important types of self care within emotional self care. Environmental. Let's talk about the environmental types of self care, and that is going to be where you're outside, when you're taking a walk outside, when you're, living in the sun, when you're sitting at the beach, when you're cleaning your house with the windows open, or just cleaning your house, um, anytime that you can take, time to just make sure that your environment is clean or that your environment is comfortable or your environment is soothing, that's going to help refuel your body. Though some people think that cleaning is a chore, to be honest, it can really be a factor in a way of doing self-care. Okay. Um, Financial self-care. We stress a lot as a whole. Society as a whole is stressing about financials. Food costs too much. Everything's just so expensive. Gas is expensive. It costs to get to work. Daycare's high. There's just so many financial factors that it causes that stress. So let's think of ways that we can reduce that financial stress, take away that worry or those fears. And I'd say there's little things that you can do. Develop a plan, develop a financial plan, figure out what your bills are, get it in paper, write it down, and see where you're spending your money. Take a look at those true dynamics of where dollars are spent. Um, Make a daily spreadsheet of what you allow yourself to spend, and make a monthly budget. Just little ways that you can make changes to help yourself will create a self-care movement. Because if you can start putting those into place where you're budgeting your dollars, you're going to see that you're not stressing about them. When you sit down and know what you're spending and you know what you're doing, you're going to feel more comfortable and less stressed. It's going to become less of a stressor. Now, there's still going to be those moments where there's times where there is some stress with it. Of course, there's emergency situations. But if you've prepared yourself and you sit down and say you have $20 out of the month or the week or the paycheck or whatever, and you throw it into savings, that's a little bit of a cushion to help you out, right? So in the long run, if something was to come up, then what you'll see is that you have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps reduce that stressor, which also helps improve self motivation. It makes you feel better. It improves how you're thinking, what you're doing. What about intellectual self care? Well, what we found is that when people read or listen to audio books or documentaries, watch documentaries, do puzzles, make your mind work, do crosswords, try something new, make a painting, draw something, um, take a class, just anything like that to keep your mind going. It is a form of self care that's very important because it keeps your mind going. It keeps your mind engaged and learning. It's giving your mind fuel. So you'll see that that does help overall as self care. Um, Occupational, at work, learn a new trade. If you're tired of what you're doing right now, learn something new. If you're going in for a job promotion or thinking about it, go ahead and do it. Take trainings to prepare for promotions within your job. Um, Make a resume, get yours cleaned up, do what you need to do there. If you see something come out on a job board or see a job come about that you may want or are interested in, try it, do it, let that fill yourself, and don't let it hold you back. Don't let it be a stressor. Don't let it be a worry. Don't let it be a fear. Just go ahead and do it. Jump in and take care of that, your self help there. Of course, we have the physical, which is like working out, taking a walk. Um, Eat healthy. The cleaner you eat, the better you feel is what everybody is with right now. Go to get your annual checkup. See how check in with your doctor. Um, Avoid any kind of drugs, alcohol. That all dampers, the way we think, the way we feel, and what we do. Um, let's see, seek out mental health. That's not necessarily physical, but if we can get that extra inspiration, it does help encourage the physical change of self-care. um Spiritual, if you are one that pray as you need. If you meditate, reflect on your past, reflect on what you're wanting your future. Do yoga. um Go to a lake, go to anywhere that you can just sit in peace and silence and do what you need to do. Be mindful, be respectful, know who you are, know what brings you at peace. um Meet up with friends, that's another one. Social engagement. Part of self-care is engaging with others, because often the people around us can help increase our moods to better moods. Okay. They help fulfill that need of having somebody to listen to or talk to, engage with. If you're not able to meet up with them in person, do a Zoom call, do a FaceTime call. Use social media if need be. Make sure it's healthy, but use social media. If you don't have a real friend group, socialize. Volunteer at your church, volunteer at your library, engage at the school, see if they have any places for you to help and do things. Go to concerts, go just enjoy life. Go to the zoo, see if there's anybody there. If you're a mom, a single mom, join mom groups. If you're a dad, a single dad, join dad groups. Even if you're not single, join these groups so that you can start getting people that are like you to go ahead and engage with and create a positive aspect, a positive thought process, positive people. It keeps you from being you know, negative to yourself to where you're just withdrawn and alone with your thoughts and your feelings. All of these are very important. Self care is one of the biggest problems we have in the world today. There are so many people that do not know how to do self care. They don't know what self care means. They're like, yeah, I take my medicine every day. Okay, great. But did you walk? Did you exercise? Did you, meditate? Did you talk to a friend? Did you engage with others? Did you, work on your budget? Did you find out what you're wanting to do in life? Did you, you know, have you talked to your doctor? Just anything. You just really have to care for yourself. Um, I know that for me, self care has become a very positive part of my life. I know that if I can know what my budget is, if I know what my finances are, if I am taking time to read, breathe, relax, do things that I enjoy, um, I perform better as a person. And that is probably why I am such a positive person, because I have basically my ducks in a row with that. Now, do things come up and it get adjusted from time to time? My self care put back on the back burner, definitely. But overall, the big picture is that I really try to keep my self care in check. I really try to make me a priority, and that allows me the ability to do what I do. I mean, if I went day in, day out and didn't even bother with self care, imagine the amount of absorbed information that could bring me to a really bad place. And that's not healthy, you know? Um, so it's important that we really pay attention to self care. It's important that self care is a part of your everyday life because it does make things flow easier. Um, a lot of people have problems with self care because they feel that it's selfish. A lot of your friends or family might have problems with your self care because they say, well, you're selfish. You shouldn't need all that time. Don't let that fool you. They don't know what you're doing. They don't know what your life. They don't know that anything, but they do need to realize that you're important and that you need to take care of yourself. Because without that, guys, it just makes everything else harder. If you can't take care of yourself, you cannot take care of anybody else. Um, I know that, there's caretakers in the world and they have to consume so much of their time and especially if it's a loved one that you're taking care of, you consume so much of your time with others and you become wrapped in and just caring for others and you forget to care about yourself, you know? And then what happens if that person passes? You're lost. You become lost. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to think. You don't know how to feel. You don't know how to do any of that stuff that's a very healthy need is to care for yourself. So it causes a lot of conflict. It causes a lot of pain. It causes a lot of issues. So it's important that you really just think about making self-care a priority throughout so that when you get to a point where you're, caring for others or needing to be available for others, that you can do so and have yourself completely available in a healthy way. When people come to me for assistance or, for therapy or as a friend, as a daughter, or, as a spouse, or any of those, I want to have my best foot forward. I want to be able to give them all. I want to be the best employee. I want to be the best, fiance. I want to be the best friend. I want to be the best daughter. I want to be the best mother. I want to be all the things. And I can only do that if I take care of me. So, for the rest of this week until I come back on Friday, I want you guys to really think about that and let it just sink in. Are you really giving yourself enough of you and taking care of you to be able to provide for everybody that needs you to? Even if it's your employer. If you're coming home from work and you're not sleeping because you're up, stressed, worried, anxious, don't have time, have too much home life to worry about, and so you get 2 hours of sleep, are you really giving your job the best you? Because that answer is going to be no. That answer is going to be no. So if you can start doing things to make that answer, yes, then it's going to improve your life. It's going to improve your quality of life. It's going to make things better for you. And then in essence, it's going to make things better for them. You know, think of it that way. Um, I will be doing things a little bit different now. We're going to do Monday, Friday videos. Big news in the storefront is that I will be taking my test come March. And with that being said, I really need to hone into work and study and taking care of things here at the home. I've got to take care of myself right now. I've got to take care of me. I know that I have some fear or some worry going into this only because it's been so long, and it should have already been done. It wasn't. So we just got to move forward, and I got to take time and I got to take care of my needs right now, which is going to be studying for that test. I'm very excited. I'm very focused and ready. And so you'll see me on Mondays and Fridays for a while. We're going to knock out this test. We're going to get that licensure. We're going to do everything that we can do to put this candidate position behind us and make the best of life. So that will be the new changes. Again, that'll be on Monday and Fridays. Expect a video from me. Always, if you need anything in the middle of that or at any time, you can reach out to me. I'm available through that email that I've always provided. Again, you can find it into my profile. I believe it's listed there as Diane at unfiltered.com. Feel free to reach out to me. Feel free to shoot me an email. If you have any questions, concerns, or anything that you would like to talk about. Okay. Um, for now, I'm going to sign off of here and I'm going to do some work and enjoy the rest of my day. And I hope you guys can too. And then that you guys find a way to take care of yourself and meet your needs this week. Until Friday, guys, have a great week. Bye.